So your home didn't sell. Oof. I know this can be a very painful experience. I always feel bad when I see it happen to, people in the public. I've had clients it's happened, but there's usually three reasons why this happens, and we're gonna go through that today. So typically it happens for three reasons. Usually it is marketing, condition, and price. So let's go into that. So in terms of marketing, what was done for the property? Did you have professional photography done? Are you doing a 3D tour, which is sort of like when you're on Google Maps and you can walk through the streets? Are we setting that up for your house to put it in the best light? What about videography? Are we doing walkthrough tours of your home, showing it on in the best light possible? Also, are we doing social media advertising? And I don't just mean, hey, I have an Instagram account, I have 400 followers, and all 400 of these people are going to see it. No, I mean doing targeted advertising, and things may change, but as of the recording of this in 2022, what we can do is put a little circle in Facebook advertising around a 15-mile radius of your home, and people that have been recently searching for real estate and live within that circle, we can target those people in these ads. So is that being done for your home? Also, are we doing the traditional routes, mailing out flyers, making phone calls around the neighborhood? This stuff is very important and is very helpful in getting your home sold. And you might ask, do I really need to do this? No, you don't have to do anything. But are you going to be leaving money on the table? Probably. So next, let's talk about the condition. So one of the first things that we would do to help get your home sold is send out a staging consultant who's basically going to walk through your home and advise you and coach you on what things that you can do to make your home look better. And it may be small things, it may be big things. Move this couch here, or we need to get rid of this, or let's remove these curtains that are maybe a little bit more stylistically unique to your own taste. And the goal of this is not to make your home look like some HGTV, but it's really just to make it very, very pleasant to the eye for the buyer. And next, we're going to talk about doing a walkthrough in the property, which was something that I would myself or somebody on my team will do with you, where we're basically walking through the house and checking the condition. We might point out little things like you need to make sure that all of the lights are changed in the home, or you need to fix this leaky faucet, or paint that chipped paint on the door. Little things that we need to do before we list the home that are going to be things that hit the eye of the buyer, because at the end of the day, all of these changes that we want to do are for what is going to be the perceived value for the buyer of your home. And again, sometimes homes are going to be sold as is, and that's fine. It's always going to be on a case-by-case basis. Next, there's the expected upgrades. So going through things like renovating a kitchen or a bathroom. And for some, that might be an expense worth making. For some, maybe it's not. But the reason why we say this is because sometimes people wonder why, the Johnson's house down the block sold for $500,000 and we listed for $500,000 and didn't get the same number. Maybe the reason was that the Johnsons had beautiful granite countertops and your kitchen looks like it's from the 1970s. These things happen, folks. All right. And next we're going to talk about price. So when it comes to the price, we're not always just coming into your home and slashing the price, although sometimes we may come and do a price improvement because the property was previously overpriced. And that happens for a few reasons. Sometimes it could be because the homeowner or the agent who listed the home don't know or are unsure of how to determine the value of the property. Also, sometimes, and this does happen, you as the homeowner, you love your home, you've been there for your whole life, you've made so many memories, and you have a bias towards what you think the value of your home is. And sometimes that leads people to believing that their home is worth more than it is. And that leads me to another point where sometimes agents who are probably not the strongest of agents will allow a homeowner to overprice their home because they're just so desperate to get a listing. They'll say anything just to make you happy. And that's not the agent that you want. You need somebody that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's just, that's how it goes. All right. And, then there's the last part about pricing is overpricing the home. So some people like to take the approach of, well, let's just price the home really high and see what happens. Now, sometimes that may work. Sometimes you may find that Russian billionaire that just wants to buy your house for $5 million over what it's worth. But in most cases, what we find is that it's sort of like Newton's law, where for every action, there's a negative reaction or opposite reaction. So we see a lot of times that, let's take a house that's $500,000, just for example, and let's say you wanted to list it $50,000 more than it's worth just to see what happens. So when you list a home overpriced and you don't get the action, you don't get the foot traffic, people aren't really interested because they know in this day and age, the buyers are super educated. We all have the internet. Everybody is able to do their own research. So the buyers have a sense that this home isn't worth it. So people don't even show up to go look at your house. Now what happens? Now your home's been sitting on the market for a few months and people are starting to wonder what's wrong with it. So going back to Newton's law, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So now it's been sitting on the market for a long time. People will ask, well, what's wrong with this house? And they think something's wrong with it, even though there's absolutely nothing wrong. The price is just too high. So now people won't look at it for that reason. Now even more time is going by, and when you're getting to the end of this listing, now all of a sudden the people that are going to come and lowball you, now they start to enter the picture. And if you're in a pinch to sell and you really need to move, you might be forced to take a lower offer because nobody's offering you what the home's worth anymore because you wasted all that time trying to shoot for something which wasn't reasonable in the first place. So that's my thought on overpricing a property. With all of that said, if you want to find out what your home's worth or you're interested in listing your home, please reach out to me. You can find me on here. You can find me on Instagram at ericberman_RE, on Facebook, Eric Berman Real Estate, or you can reach me on my cell phone, 917-225-8596. Everybody, have a phenomenal day.